Welcome to Spiritual and Sassy, the podcast where we bleed deep soul wisdom with authentic confidence.
We're your host,
Tressa
and Myra, and together we'll explore the mystical side of life, challenge societal norms and programming, and embrace our inner power.
Whether you're on a spiritual journey or just love a little sass, this space is for you.
Let's dive in and light up the world with a little more love.
Hey,
Hello.
happy Sunday evening.
Happy Sunday. You know, this is so creepy. So if anyone watches this, but Tressa, your lips look so
thank you.
good. They're
Maybe
very
it's my new lip
luscious.
gloss.
Yeah, they're popping. Like, they look
Thanks.
great. Yeah, I'm over here like, wow. Because I mean, I'm definitely like Myra in the relaxed form
That's all.
today.
Yeah, that's how I've been all day with my hat. But I just got new lip gloss yesterday, and I just put some on. Yeah,
Dude, it's like, is it a plumper?
no,
Man,
I don't like
they
those
look great.
plumper ones because they make your lips feel all like I
Yeah,
don't
but
know
yours
what.
look great.
Well, thanks.
I don't
Thanks.
know. I'm like, of
Yeah.
all the lips you've ever had, today is. I'm
I
like,
don't know.
damn, her
Yeah,
lips look
no, I've
good.
never.
I don't know.
I promise you, I haven't done anything. I have used that plumper stuff before, but it like tinkles too much for me. I don't like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You look
thanks.
great.
Look at me for
So
not doing anything on
yeah.
a Sunday.
No, you look so good. Yeah, I know. Oh my gosh. I don't, it's always like one day like of not doing anything or like putting yourself
Yeah,
together. I
right.
don't know if you feel that way too, but like usually Sundays are
Yeah.
my day. I'm like, I don't need to present myself in any form or fashion in any special way, right? And like I also had a massage, which we'll talk about later, but like I was like, should I even like with some little bling, and I'm like, nah. I was like, my message is better than my appearance, right? So that's what
Well, the
matters.
good news is
No one
yeah,
cares.
I think most people listen to us on Spotify, so they don't see us. But if you want to go on YouTube, you'll see the.
If you want to cross compare, like go ahead. You can see a progression of what day of the week it is when we record.
Yeah,
And when it's Sunday.
there's been a few. I think it was 2 episodes ago. I think it was a Sunday also. And when I put the episode on YouTube, I was looking at myself like, "Wow, damn girl, that was a rough day."
Yeah, no, there's one. I will say this. Yeah, like I honestly, yes, I like set it and forget it kind of attitude with this. You know what I mean? But there was one, and I caught a glimpse of it on Blake's computer because he's a YouTube master king person. I don't know. You are too. Like he's a
Yeah, me
YouTuber
too.
person.
Yeah.
He wants to be on YouTube. He's very fluid in
Yeah.
the YouTube. And the other day I was working, and he watches golf videos all day long. So I don't know. I'm glad he has a nice job where he watches golf videos. But I'm looking over and I see myself. Oh my God. And I'm wearing these glasses. Okay. I love these glasses because I
I
can
think they're
hide.
adorable. Yeah.
They like take over. Yeah, they're cute. Nola tells me I look like a boss lady when I wear them. She'll look like the boss mom. Anyways, and so I love these glasses, but whatever the fuck my hair was doing, Tressa, it's bad. Like I looked at myself over there. I was like, wow, okay. Yeah. For next time, if I have some weird, it was like a sprig was I don't know. I don't know what was happening. And he's looking at me and I'm looking at him and I'm glad you love me, buddy. Because that's public.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's out there.
I was like,
That's
wow.
what I think sometimes. I'm
That's
like,
out
well,
there.
it's going
Yeah.
out.
Talk about self-love, man. I was like, damn. I was like, okay. Yeah, Myra. So anyways, for the angles of the camera, I've now learned my hair cannot look like that because I did not love it when it was redone or put out there. I'm like, oh man, that was not good. I should fix
there
my
was
hair a
a
different
one that
way.
we recorded too. It was a weekday, I remember, and I was actually in the studio. It was in the afternoon, and I looked like fucking Frankenstein or something. The wind was so bad that day. My hair had been done, but it was like a tornado, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, I should probably not say this, but kind of like looked like the Unabomber. Like, it was scary.
Oh my God.
That's what my passport picture looks like. Because I got it done on a day where the wind was horrific here. And like the poor lady at Walmart taking my picture, And my husband had to see this, and nobody helped me. No one helped me. And this is now what I have to travel with.
That's what kills
It's
me.
so embarrassing.
Well, you'll get a new one in like what, 10 more
Yeah.
years or 5 more years?
And
I don't
it's
know.
such
You've
a
had it
pain
for a
in the
while.
ass. I was like, oh, well, we're rolling with
Yeah.
this.
This is it. This is who I am. I love it.
Yeah.
Love
It's pretty
me.
bad.
Yeah, I laugh. Speaking of passport pictures, this is funny to me. So my best friend, her husband's from Italy, so they're traveling. They go all the time. That's his family. Like that's like hell me going from to Wyoming or North Carolina. Like, but they go to Italy, like, which is a win-win. I wouldn't complain, right? And anyways, but they have to get their baby's passport pictures, and they'll last for years. So anyways, she's had to do them in their newborn stages because they just so happen to have gone near birth, right? Anyways, and so so these kids are going to be stuck with them looking like little peanut aliens, like on like a sheet, So when you think about your passport pictures, just think about these children living their lives with their little weird alien photos on a
Isn't
white
it funny
sheet.
how just like certain times, certain pictures are just like great, and other times it's like, what is happening?
Wow.
Like,
It's a journey. It's a journey. It's like, okay, all right, well, we were thinking of something fun that day, huh? Like, okie dokie, this is not it.
we all have those days.
Or lighting,
lighting.
like, God. Yeah, the lighting can really set us on a new planet. Yeah. Like, oh, yeah, no, and I'm human, right? And so this week, I asked my niece, I said, hey, have you been on the side of Tik Toc for like Botox in a bottle? Like, could you find me some skincare? I was like, I don't want Botox, but can you find me like some skincare? And she's like, I'm 18. I'm not on that side of Tik Toc. Like, we're not on the same
Currently
place.
not
Because
worried.
I'm over here like, I was like, my God, like, yeah, you can tell I have kids. Yeah, so I'm like, I'm here now. I've reached the age. Like, where is the skincare? Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I've been in my feels this week, I guess. So,
You just turned 30, right? Yeah.
yeah.
I'll never forget. My 30th birthday was the hardest birthday I've ever had for me.
Yeah.
And I was not yet on the path that I am today to really understand who I was.
Mhm.
And I remember the only thing I was asking for was skincare products. I was obsessed with my face, obsessed with wrinkles, obsessed with turning 30. It was horrible. I don't know how my friends and my family stood me that year, honestly. I was raving lunatic.
You're insufferable.
Yeah,
That's
100%.
okay. We all have those years, Yeah, it happens. I get it though. I mean, honestly, I love Friends. I'm an avid Friends watcher. And when I'm really sad or when I'm lonely or whatever, or especially when I used to travel a lot, I always kept Friends on the TV. So in both pregnancies, I watched all seasons, every episode, both back to back. But then with Draco, I watched Sex and the City, so I don't know what that says. But anyways, yeah. I pick a show. Like I pick one of these really long sitcoms and I go from front end to the back or whatever. And anyways, but I love Friends. It's my comfort show. And I will never forget. Like, the episode where Rachel, so Jennifer Aniston turns 30, right? And she's so upset about it. And then it's the one where we turn 30 and then they show everyone's lives and they all are crying over being 30, right? And like, I think back before I was 30, so I was in my mid-20s when I was pregnant with Noah. That episode hit different for me because I'm thinking, ew, oh my God, I don't want to be 30. Like, that sucks. And then when I watched it, I've seen it since then, now that I've crested the 30. And it does not feel the same. Like, I'm like, why were they so upset? Yeah, like, I cannot understand why. I mean, I know why she was upset because she felt like she needed to check certain boxes. And I understand that, but like, I'm not in that same place, And so it's really interesting watching the episode in my mid-20s versus like now that I'm 30. And one, it tells me a lot about myself. Like, I'm just a lot more secure in myself. And like, I really wasn't sad to turn 30. Like, I honestly was like, really, to me, I was happier because it signified ending that chapter of my 20s. And I just was really done with that whole. It was good for what it was. It served me for what it needed to serve. But I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Let's enter this new decade. I'm like, I'm ready to go over here now. But it's so interesting. But then, like I brought up Sex and the City, the majority of the show, they're in their 30s.
Yeah.
So you've got these like two different sitcoms and that portray these different people who are very iconic, right? who signified very monumental things for people. And you've got this group of friends, in quotation, who are so distraught over getting into their 30s. And then you've got the group of people in their 30s. And then, Samantha was in her
Yeah,
freaking
she
40s,
was. Yeah.
in the show. Yeah. And like, I've seen so much stuff on the internet that's like, just remember seasons 1 through 2. So that Carrie was only like 31 or something, I think, like, or whatever. Or like by season 2, she was just 32 or 35. I can't remember. You would know better than me, but like there's something about it. Like I don't remember it off the top of my head perfectly, but it just ultimately the message is like, hey, Carrie was only like 35 or 34 or whatever through half the show, or you know
Yeah.
what I mean? If you want to line it up based on what the TV's trying to tell you versus, what's in your
Yeah.
head. So I don't know.
Honestly, yeah,
It's
I
just
didn't
something
even think
about.
about that because I'm obsessed with Sex in the City. I watch it all the time. But I
Yeah.
didn't even think about her age, it didn't even resonate with me. Other than Samantha never would share her age because she was older than the other three. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we put a lot of
Yeah.
value on things that don't really mean much, like our age.
Yeah.
So,
I agree. And like it's very interesting because I'm one of the few people in my college room. We talked about my college
mhm.
roommates last week, and that actually came up for me this week too. But what's interesting is I was reflecting this week. I am the only person in my roommates that I have children.
You're the only one
And
who
I
has
had children a
children?
lot younger. I'm the only one. And like one of my closest roommate and the person that I'm actually have a relationship with still very fluidly, she has chosen to not have children. And like they've made that decision as a couple. They said, she doesn't want children, which is
Mhm.
totally cool. And I'm like, hey, you're talking to the perfect I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, and she knows that. Like, I don't care. But then the other people in that group are just now getting married, which is nothing wrong with that either. But like everybody's on these like different timelines. But I thought it was the craziest thing. Like, I was like, oh my God, I'm the only one that has kids. Like they have to think I'm mental, like instead of the other way around, right? Like, damn. But it was so funny. She told me this week that she's so shocked that I even had kids. And I'm like, what did I ever do to portray that? And she said, no. She's like, I think I just viewed you as a person who you didn't have to have kids. Like you could live a life either way and you would be
Uh-huh.
fulfilled. And I'm like, she's like, she said to me, that's compliment. And I'm like, no, that I hear what you're saying. She's like, I didn't think like you didn't need either one. Like you were going to live this life that was a beautiful life no matter what choice you
Yeah.
made. And I'm like, well, thanks. But it was just such a
Mm.
weird, it was very reverse, probably from your experiences, and I mean, I don't know, like now no one has
Yeah.
children, like, and that's cool, but it's just like different. I feel like it's very different. Like times have changed and like people's expectations of what they're doing in lives are just
Oh,
different.
I think so. I mean, birth rates are going down, right? So more people
Yeah.
are electing to not have children. But also maybe because like I see maybe when you were with her in college, some women that I was around, a generation's
Hmm.
different, but all they talked about was I want to be a mom, I want to be a wife, I want to be, so you probably were just not portraying that. I could see that. That wouldn't be you.
No,
Yeah.
that's
No.
not my identity. And it's not like I just don't know. That's not
Yeah.
my everything, and I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
Oh my God,
of
I love these
course.
people, but it wasn't
But you're not
like,
attached to being that
you're right.
label. Yeah, to give
No,
you
no,
something. Yeah, yeah.
no. But anyway, so I'll go back to
Yeah,
the roommate.
right
There's
there.
purpose to this too. Yeah. So last week we talked about my roommates and connections and those relationships and like fostering. Is it obligation or what does this look like? And it was really cool because I had even mentioned too on the last episode, like I hadn't been back to campus. I graduated almost 9 years ago. Like I hadn't been to this place that held a lot for me. And this week I haven't in a long time specifically in prayer or meditation asked for a miracle. Because I do sometimes, and I had been doing that every now and then, but I just realized this week, I don't know if you've ever been like that, you're like, oh, I haven't done that in a minute. So I did. And I said, I called in a miracle and I said, I went in that prayer, I asked to be able to know. I wanted to know too. So like I asked for that too. Like I just wanted to have that confirmation of the miracle as
Mhm.
well, like, to know that it was the miracle. Well, some time had passed and like, I don't know, about maybe not even like an hour. I mean, it was pretty fast. The roommate that I'd mentioned that I'm still very close with, she messaged me and she's like, "Hey, this is like really last minute, but do you want to go to the basketball game this weekend on Friday?" And it's part of the Rams Club, which is like the alumni association. If anyone out there listens and you're a part of a very large, wealthy university, you're being a part of the alumni group or having season tickets is not a drop in the bucket. I'm just going to be honest. Okay. It is extremely, but you have to be very wealthy. And so like, it's not easy or cheap.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not cheap. You sell your soul for the education and then you sell your money back. Right. I don't know. And so she's like, I've got tickets, but it's also going to have a special dinner before, and it's going to be in the basketball museum, which is also really special. Like, you don't just go to the museum. Like, you know, there was a lot more weight to it. And then there were other perks. Like, you could go through the basketball tunnel before the game. Like, it was just a whole lot of things all in this, like, super sweet. It was more than just tickets to the basketball game, right? Like, and it's free, right? Yeah, I don't have to pay a thing. Like, that's cool. And, she's like, I've got these tickets. Do you want to go? And I'm like, yeah, the answer is yes. Like, I'll figure out the rest for my hoodlums. But I'm saying yes. Like, I don't give a shit. Blake can stay home. But it was so cool because in that exact moment, I didn't even need to question. I knew that was a miracle. It was a miracle. It was a miracle for me. I have been wanting to go to the game. I had just talked about it to a coworker about watching the stadium on TV, and just like, I can see it and I can feel it. When you associate a memory, you associate it to the feeling, the vibration, right? Or like that moment in time, the synergy, the energy. And if you love sports, and I love sports, when you're in those stadiums or those arenas and you're very passionate about that team you're watching, it's a whole nother level, right? And so I'm like, man, I've been really wanting to go. And I really wanted to see this person. I just talked about her and what she meant to me, and I haven't been able to like connect with her in a while, and it just wasn't syncing up. And so here's this really cool opportunity. Well, everything lined up, my kids were squared away. And so I was able to go. And it was just really special for me, and I knew right away, I'm like, this is totally a miracle. One, the connection's a miracle, the relationship, the opportunity, the experience. And I was so excited to go to campus with just Blake because I hadn't been in years. Like, I hadn't been in that facility, the camp, like even just pass by the campus. Like, I didn't even, since the literal day I pulled in to graduate and I'd pulled out to drive home, and like, I hadn't felt those emotions either. I hadn't dealt with that time period. I mentioned it briefly before, like, just being in that facility is the beginnings of a lot of my identity around like materialism formed there. Well, it was forming, but it really formed there. The identity, not knowing my identity. My dad died the first big T.
Yeah.
The big T. You know what I mean? There's just a lot of shit, a self-worth, self-doubt, really nasty relationships. Like, oh my God, it all happened in this place, and that I'd never been to. And I was holding such a identity towards this place too. And so I was able to like go and just be Myra the adult without little ones, like I didn't have to worry about my kid. I don't know. I got to just be me. Right. And then like Blake got to go with me, and it was the craziest experience for me. Like, this sounds pathetic, I'm sure, to some people, because they're like, oh, I go to college, you go back and see it, or you go back. But I just hadn't done it yet. And so for me, it was like I felt like I was a student. It was really hard to be there as not, because I hadn't been there any other reason. Like, I had no other reason that I went before, other than I went to school. You know what I mean? Like, I never, like, my roommate, her dad was an alumni, so she went for game. Like, she already had a full association with this place before. Me, no. It was just as a student. So I'm like walking around and I'm like, fuck, I'm not 18 or 20 or 21, I'm like, oh my God. And like, I went to the bar for the first time and didn't use a fake ID on campus. I'm like, damn, I can use my real ID. Like, this is so legit. Cool. Like, oh my God, I'm not a kid. Yeah. Like, so it was just weird. And so it was a little triggering at first. Like, the smells were very similar, like being there. And you know, a lot of the memories like I first kicked off with were like in remembrance of India, who passed away, one of my other roommates. And so I'm like telling Blake, like, this is where I live with India,
Yeah.
you know, and like to look over there and know like she's not there and this is just a building, you know, I don't know. So this sounds honestly really depressing, but it really was a miracle because I needed, I think, to physically go to the location to cut that cord. I need to cut the emotional tie to that cord. Like, I can still love this place. It can still mean something really beautiful to me. It can still be super fun. And I got to make a new memory now. Now I have a new association with the place. It's no longer this place that I went to for just school. Now I get to be in this new chapter with it. And so, like, it was more than just going to the game, but now I got to be with the person who meant so much to me there and form new memories and a new association in this new chapter of my life with this place. And it was just a really beautiful experience. Like, I laughed so much, you know, I drank a little more than I normally do. You know, it was just so much fun. Like, we laughed. We were both super authentic. We joked, you know, we recalled memories, but like, it was also about our new lives. We didn't sit there and dwell upon the past. And like, like it was just this really cool experience to just be there, but be there in a new way.
Yeah, that's awesome. And this is North Carolina for those listeners who are not aware.
Oh, yeah,
So
sorry. I went to UNC Chapel
basketball
Hill.
school.
Yeah. University of National Champions.
Did they win?
Yeah. Very passionate
Did they
about
win
it.
the game?
Yeah, oh, hell yeah. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Well, this too, let me make the plug here. They've been a little rocky since I've known the Wyoming folks. So everyone in Wyoming, when I lived in Wyoming, knew how much I loved my school. Because I do. I'm very proud. I love it. They're amazing. They're freaking phenomenal. But like after 2022, it like, I don't know. So anyways, recently I realized I could come out of basketball hiding. You know, I'm like, oh shit, we're good again. I can come out now. Like, you know, I've never like doubted them, but now I could like let my freak flag fly, you know, I'm like, woohoo. And so when Blake and I were talking, like, damn, we really want to go to, like, this would be great. And like, we were just talking about the history and the banners, but it was so cool too. Cause then like Blake's never been a part of that place in my life ever.
Yeah.
You know, he's never been there either. So like it was really cool for him to put it together. Like, damn, this is where she lived. This is where a lot of those formations of her life happened. And like, this is where this went down. And you could see, but it was so cool for him too, is like, you know, it's a school on TV to him.
Sure.
Right. Yeah. And being there and like being in the arenas, being on campus, he's like, this is so cool. Like, he's like, I get it now. Like, it's so rich in history. And I mean, there's like all 7 national champion banners hanging in the rafters, all of our Final Four appearances, all of the Hall of Famers. So it's like badass. Okay. Like, you're not just at like
University of Wyoming. No,
you're not at the UW
that's
basketball game. Okay. Like, you're in the, like, it's badass. It's like, you know, if you went to an SEC school for football game, right? You know what I mean? Like, so you're sitting there and you're like, damn, like, this is a real place. And so like, then you get the passion. He's like, and he knows why I'm passionate, but like being in the facility and sitting and he's like, yeah, I get it. Like, damn. And it was like a fucking blowout, right? Like, they blew them away. They beat them like 95-35. Like, it was just like like we got a good team. We grew. They actually got big people. So anywho, it was just like, I needed it. We've talked about my journey a lot. And I think that was one of those, like, there's a few things that happened in that moment. You know, like I said, this was that one, like, next step. I needed to go there. I needed to physically be present in the space and just feel those emotions, I think.
I love that. It's absolutely, I mean, I think miracles are happening to us all the time. We just aren't paying attention very well, you know, or we have an idea of how we want something to occur and then it doesn't occur that way. And sometimes we fail to see the miracle within the change, right, of what occurred. I don't know if we've actually talked about this Metatron thing on the podcast. I know you and I have talked about it a lot, but it was probably 3-4 weeks ago, probably about a month ago. I went, I've always called in archangels for probably 2 years. An Archangel Metatron's one that I call in every day. But I went on a work trip to Casper, and it was kind of funny because I had plans to try to meet up with one of my friends who lives there and go have dinner and drinks. When I got there, she's got her kids and I was tired. So I just grabbed a salad, went to my hotel. And anyway, we decided we weren't going to get together that night. And then I thought, okay, well, I'll call my mom. I'm in my hotel. I have nothing else to do. My mom didn't answer. It was just like one thing after another not working out. So well, then I thought, okay, I had this meditation that I'd purchased, and it was a connection to Archangel Metatron. And I'm like, okay, well, might as well do that. Have nothing else going on. So I did this long meditation to connect to Archangel Metatron, and it works with your stellar way chakra, or sorry, your soul star chakra, I believe, which is above your crown chakra, opening up the chambers within that chakra. So I did that meditation that evening and didn't think much of it. I could feel the connection. It felt great. Go about my business the next day and go to my conference that I was there for, my meeting, and then start heading home. And as I was driving home, it's quite a long ways. It was probably 3 hours into my drive, 5-hour drive. All of a sudden, it just was like Archangel Metatron was talking to me. Like, you're going to channel me. And I was like, what? Is this real? Like, okay, I know I'm a little crazy, but okay, maybe I'm going to be certified here soon. But it was so real in the moment. Like, I'm by myself in my car, I'm like, okay. And then I was like, if this is real, like, give me a sign. And it was just like it was the same voice. No, you're going to channel me. And I was like, okay, what's the sign though? And he's like, the only sign that you need is practice. Like, go to somebody you trust. I always have people and just see what comes out. Just trust it. So I get home. A few days later, I am in my space at my house where I do my meditation. And I just thought, okay, if this energy is truly happening, I was alone. I just asked Archangel Metatron to come in and give me a message. And I had a notebook, which I normally don't write, oddly, but I just jotted down a few things that meant something to me. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, fast forward to, he actually told me the exact friend to start with. So I reached out to her.
Yeah.
And usually we have trouble connecting because of our schedules. She's got little kids, busy gal. But like, we connected within a day, and I did Archangel channeling or Archangel Metatron reading with her. And it was just so spot on, and then I did one with Myra. And then, another one with another friend of mine here. And it was just like, every time I was like, this isn't going to work. My own insecurities happen,
Yeah.
But it was just amazing how quickly it started to happen and how fast the energy could come in and how precise and what the client or individual really needed was being spoken through me. But it made me think about, the way that I had that evening planned and the way that it actually went. And thank goodness for the way that it actually went. The universe knew a lot better what I needed, and that was a true miracle. And now I've got it out in the public, and I've had several people already have readings with me. And I even told a client Friday, she was my second paying client that came in, and it was wonderful. She appreciated it. And when we were done, I said, it's so funny. Even today, I was nervous. I'm like, is this going to keep happening, or is this going to stop at some point? So
I'm sure it'll stop, but I'm over here like, great, can't wait to pay for it myself. I'm just, you need to get the nerves out.
I know.
Gladly.
Myra's always one of my guinea pigs if I get some new thing. But yeah, it was just, it was crazy.
I agree though. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's so cool. Like I was sharing this today with someone, exactly how this went for Tressa. And, it's so funny because like I was trying to explain this person who Tressa is, because I just assume everyone knows everyone. And she's like, okay, so who's this? And I'm like, okay, well, she was my boss, but she's also my healer and my friend. I'm like, she's really my friend. And it was just so funny because like, as I kept telling her, She's like, "Okay, so Tressa." Yeah, and I'm like, "Honestly, she's my friend. She's my friend. She is my most wonderfulest friend." But it was just so funny because, like, as I was saying, like, she was trying to understand. She's like, "Well, where is she?"
Yeah.
Like, "How do you know her?" And it was just so funny. And I was telling her, like, I don't know. I say it's spastic. I don't know. I'm chatty. And this is why I'm doing this podcast, right? I talk a lot. And so when I'm feeling good and happy, I'm very chatty, right? And I can be spastic, but that's just me. That's who I am. And it's fun. And she loves it. She loves when I'm fun. I'm fun. I'm the best client, right? Who wouldn't
You
want
are
to
fun. Yeah.
have me over? Yeah, she's like, "I don't know what the fuck to expect when you're here, but this is fun." And so anyways, so like I was trying to explain these things, but like I was telling her like how it worked for Tressa. I was like, well, honestly, I told her, it's like, it's really cool. She's like, "Well, how did you meet her?" And, I'm telling her, and she's like, "What company was this?" And I'm like, "Well, honestly, that's like one of those life things that like I was meant to meet this individual. I was meant to meet her through this path.
Mhm.
And this is, that's a miracle, right?
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
these moments and these connections and the synchronicities. So like even that conversation today was like about my relationship with Tressa. And then we started talking about like how she's channeling Metatron and like what that meant and like the practice and so anyway, she was like totally engaged with it. But even in like the little moments of the conversation, it was just highlighting all of the synchronicities. And I was sharing with her how it worked out for Tressa, and like it came to her. Like it was just this, like I said, like you said, we expect outcomes or we want things to happen a certain way. And like, and what does a miracle even mean? Right. Like, what does it even mean? But like, right there, like that's a miracle for you. Like that came to
Mhm.
you. You didn't seek it
Right.
out. I mean, you did the
Right.
meditation, but you didn't ask the channel.
No. No.
You were over here like dying to
Mhm.
channel an archangel. Like I think it's badass, but you weren't over here like, hello,
No, I was not.
whatever. Like that wasn't on your bingo card for the month. I don't know.
That never crossed my
And
mind,
and like
actually.
yeah. Yeah, and, like, I would love to have went to a game, but I wasn't thinking about basketball
Yeah.
tickets as this thing, right? So I love it, like, it's so cool, like and that's why I asked to know.
Yeah.
I knew in my heart, I knew in my gut, like, because it's these moments, like, we talk about calling in abundance, we talk about calling in miracles or blessings or whatever that means, but when you don't pick up on the things that are really happening, that's, like, you're not really aware of your true abundance in life, like the things that are really going on for you, whether it's a miracle or a connection or a relationship, like that's really where the abundance flows into, or your prosperity or your joy or happiness or free. You know what I mean? When you're too busy trying to label and put expectations and outcomes on
Oh, yeah,
stuff.
or you're too attached to the outcome that
Yeah.
you envisioned, right? Like, I mean, I think about
Hmm.
that night. Now, I could have been a little shithead to myself and thought, "Great, now I didn't go to dinner with my friend. I don't have
Yeah.
my mom to talk to." And I could have sat there and vegged out on my phone or
Sex and the
yeah,
City.
yeah. You know, I could have made different decisions also, but I didn't.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, I have time. I have no distractions." And so it's
Yeah.
also kind of trusting that intuition and, not being a brat. I mean, years ago, I would have been a brat. I was a brat sometimes.
Yeah.
Just was. So, yeah. So, now that we kinda talked about Metatron and knowing that you had a Metatron reading, Myra was the second person I practiced
Hmm.
with,
Hmm.
I think you should share about your massage. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So my massage lady, I suck at labels. I give too much shit, like most irrelevant shit away, right? This my friend. She's
Yeah.
my friend. I don't know why I have to be this way. I don't know. Anyways, she's wonderful. She's also a practitioner of the body and of the soul. So anyways, but I went to her so it was interesting. Like a week ago I had to cancel due to sickness. I went through the eternal sickness, but I understand why I went through that. I can mention that. But anyways, I didn't want to cancel. I don't like to cancel, but Draco was really sick and it was contagious. So that's not okay. Like I don't need to go running around with the sickness. And so and especially when somebody's being very
Yeah,
physical.
yeah, yeah,
Anyways,
yeah.
again, too much information, right? I don't know. Anyway, but she's like, "Hey, she's like, "I'm going to actually be doing it on a Sunday." And she said, "I've got to randomly rescheduled another client. Why not do 2 people? And I'm like, great. Honestly, I'm pretty jazzed about it because I don't have any obligations on Sundays. So like, yay for me, right? I'm like, woohoo, I was like, that's actually the best day imaginable. So I go to her today, and like last week I was going through really bad sinus shit, cold, death. I don't even know what it was. And I really was trying to figure it out because I was also on my period. So there's twofold happening. I'm releasing from my womb, which is exactly what the period is, and that the seasonal, it's just like the seasons, right? It's your body, and it's a form of shedding. And I'm releasing energy. So before my Metatron session, I actually had a Reiki session that was very deep and very intense. It was a very intense session, and it was so intense for her. She's like, I can't stop thinking about it. And I'm like, well, I don't know why. But she's like, it was just so cool. She's like, I've just really thought about it a lot. She mentioned that to me today. So anyways, I went through clearing, then I went through the Metatron session, and then there's just a lot of downloads of information, right? And so I needed to release some energy. I've been working on a lot of things. I've been releasing a lot of things. And I've read too that even congestion can be a sign of emotional release. I don't know if you've ever read that before, but like, because I used to think of it negatively, like, oh no, like, what am I holding back on, or what is it impacting? But as I was reading about it, it can also be considered emotional release because you're draining,
Yeah, you're
right?
draining.
You're getting stuff out. Like you're draining, and it's coming from the throat. It's coming from the spine. Like there's a whole lot of, and it can be associated around communication, which is something that I've been working on, like stopping karmic patterns within my family and like these ancestral dialogues and the flow of energy that's not necessary, which is what I was told during the Metatron session that I needed to work on for me. And I've really been doing that. I've been like, okay, so how can I stop these things? So then I got really sick, right? So I'm shedding this way, I'm shedding that way. So it's just a lot happening. So my hips are also a part of this place, right? And in our hips, that's where there's, depending on the side. Right now it's my left hip that's really bothering me, so that's a lot of masculine energy. There was some things in the Metatron session that came up around dialogues around my father and like emotions that I had never felt before around that relationship. And, again, childhood wounds and things that I had never felt before, or really they were totally tucked away in my subconscious. Like they just didn't exist, right? Or like I never really brought them to the surface. And so I've been thinking through those things and trying to feel those emotions. And so my hips been really bothering me. And, the hips also hold emotions around scarcity, money, security, financial. The right side, am I wrong? Is the right side masculine?
The right side is more masculine.
No. Masculine, yeah. So it's the left side, excuse me. So the left side's feminine. So there you've got stuff holding on with my mom. Sorry, mixed up here. Anyways, so reverse what I said, but either way, my hips are fucked. And either way, I had emotional baggage to bring up, and my mom holds a lot of emotional shit too. So I'm like, either way. So, anyways, so going through these things, and my hips like are very tight, and she even said that too. She's like, you are probably like the tightest hips of all my clients, which is not comforting. And she's like, I'm sorry. I want to like rip your hips open. And she's like, but a lot of it is also physical too. Like you can release these emotionally, but she's like, you need to also physically release. Like you've got to do some physical things to release this hip. And she's like, and if it hurts, cry, feel the emotions, like let them come to the surface as you're releasing physically. So it fucking hurt today, guys. Like it was very bad. It felt like honestly very equivalent to birth, and I had a very unmedicated birth with my first. It was really, really, really bad. And while I was going through the pain, I was like trying to not tense so that I could actually feel the pain, because that's part of it, right? Like if I tense or if I try to avoid it or not breathe through it, then I'm still protecting myself from it. And so as this was going on, I'm like really trying to breathe through it and telling myself I'm releasing, because I don't want to feel this way, right? And I want this shit gone. I want these karmic shit gone. I want anything buried down into my body gone. I want it out. I want it to go away. And I joke and I told her, I'm like, I know healing's a journey, but damn, like I want to be at a destination. And she's like, yeah, but then you wouldn't have nothing to work on. And I'm like, so anyways, so like I'm going through this, and she told me, and like I didn't share details with the like super deep details about the Metatron session. And she's like, hey, I'm going to stand on your back, because she's certified in whatever form of massage therapy that is called. There's a name for it, folks. I did not appropriately look it up. So we're going to say she walked on my back for the intents and purposes of this episode. And she did. And it fucking hurt. Okay. It was horrible. So just keep that in mind. So she walked on my back. She walked on my hips. She got in there deeper. She got so deep in the tissue and just held it there. So like for me, it was more in my butt area, more of like somatic. Tristan knows exactly what I'm talking about. If you press a certain spot, it can feel like cement. You know, there's just a whole lot of emotional shit happening there. There's a whole lot of fun things that stick in that spot, right? You know, and
people are
so
literally a pain in
she's
your
literally like,
Yeah,
no,
that's
really.
serious.
And imagine the weight of a human body and the pressure of the feet, right? You know, and if you ever massage, you know, for fun massaging, you know what that feels like. It's a lot of pressure and on that point. And so she would just hold it. And so I'm having to fucking just die. I'm like not living on this table, guys. I'm like, what part of a fun massage is this? So, you know, I'm going through it, right? I'm like, okay, I'm trying to release. Like, I want this to go away. So what can I be doing while she's doing this too? And I was going through it, whatever. Well, after it was done, she usually will tell me like, hey, I had this message come through for you, because she's also attuned to energy. And even though it's a physical session, depending on the client and the receptivity, she'll share what she needs to share or whatever. For those, because it wasn't like a scheduled session for energy, right? So she just says what comes. Anyways, she's like, nothing came through for you. And I'm like, okay. And then she's like, but you know, when I was on your back, she's like, I had this vision of this octopus going down deeper into the depths of the ocean. And I'm thinking, okay, you know, I didn't like, I'm like out of my mind. I'm like, damn, I just died and came back to life on this table. And I'm like, whatever. So I left and I'm like driving down the road and I'm like, because at first I was afraid. I don't know why. I think that's just I don't know, natural. Like, that's something I guess I need to work on, right? I'm always working on something. Is like that feeling of like, oh, this is bad, you know, or like, well, you know, why can't this be good? And it's actually the most beautiful thing someone's probably ever told me. Once I started to like tune into the symbolism of the creature, the animal, the body of the animal, the messages of the animal, what the animal represents, the fact that it was going deeper into the ocean, you know, going deeper into the depths. It wasn't going out, it was going down, which is even super profound, right? You know, and while she was on my back and in my hips. So like exactly what I was doing on the table mentally, I was trying to release, was physically happening while she was doing it. So that's just another alignment. But I bring this up because what's so cool about it is, you know, a week or so ago in the Metatron session, the number 8 came up, and it came up in a multitude of ways. Like it was representative of my family. It was represented in the infinity symbol, karmic cycles, all of the beautiful, the infinite, you think of abundance power, the infinite possibilities being around a family. Like the 8 is such a beautiful number. And, you know, I'm driving and I'm like, an octopus. Oh my God, that has fucking 8 legs, you know, like the octopus represents 8. And so like, here we go. Spiritually, the 8 was shown to me. And now physically, the 8 has been shown to me and presented to me. And it was just so cool. Like the synchronicities of the knowledge of what I learned in the Metatron session. And now the confirmation of that physically. You know, she had no idea about the number. To her, the octopus meant nothing. Like, you know, like I love her dearly, but it's like, what do you mean nothing came through? But anyways, it did. It totally did. And it was just so cool because like the octopus is this ancient creature, right? Like it represents intuition, emotional intelligence. It represents so much. And the fact that it was in water, which is my sacral, right? You know, and that's the chakra water is associated with. The fact she was in my sacral doing it, right? And then like the fact that it was going deeper, like that represents it's going deeper into those emotions that are buried. Like it's going deeper into the subconscious. It's going into the depths. It's not expanding. It's going down. And so if you think about this beautiful ancient creature going down, it's not scary, right? Like that's something I need to figure out. Why was I like initially going to what does that mean? But like really it's this cool message that like exactly what I was trying to do physically, what happened spiritually with Metatron is now actually it's happening. I'm going through it. Like these cycles are breaking, the emotions are being felt, burdens are being lightened. Like I felt like to me it represented the octopus is breaking those cycles. Like if it's going down, 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 like things we're not surface level
Yeah.
anymore. We're really down there, right? Like it's going deeper and deeper. So it was just this beautiful experience to have the confirmation of both sessions not related and the symbolism continuing to show back up in the same form.
Just another miracle that gives you clarification.
Yeah.
I also think it's when you're feeling that and it's deeper, it is going to even be more challenging on the physical body, like the pain. But also the backside of the body is your subconscious and spiritual side. So that's where real change happens, right? The front side is your conscious side and 3D energy, more persona energy. So there's a lot of representations within everything you said. I think isn't the octopus a representation too of breaking karmic patterns? I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was reading.
So that's really cool.
So it's happening.
Yeah.
I know.
So
like,
that's awesome. So I have one more quick story to share that I feel is a miracle. So I have been struggling with my physical body. I could feel all these energy blocks, especially on my right side, my right chest, my right lymphatic system. And I used to go to a massage therapist, and I haven't been to her for like a year. And she's an energy practitioner also. She's a witch. And she pissed me off because of time. She's always tardy. And at one point she was an hour late. So I was just like done with her. Well, anyway, my friend's mother always sends me a check to get her massages from this woman. And I haven't seen her for a year. So I get this check a few weeks ago. I set it on my table. I'm like, I'll get with her. Well, I could feel my body so tight, and I had a few people try, but I couldn't move it. I couldn't move it myself. So something told me, I'm just going to reach out to her, see if she can get me in Friday. I think this is a Tuesday. I text her Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah. Usually this woman's booked. Like, you don't get in 2 days. Yeah. So I said, I know this is a long shot. Any chance you can get me in for a massage Friday night? She writes me back fairly quickly, which is also not normal for her. She's like, can you come at 5:30? Oh, I can come at 5:30. So I show up, she starts working on me, and normally I do a 2-hour massage, right? And she's like, so what's going on? And I tell her, I feel tight in my neck. I always do, blah, blah, blah. But I said, something's not right with my lymphatic system. I can feel it. It's so clogged. So she starts working on my right side. Talk about pain. I felt it too. Like she had to get in my breast and just release. And it was the one spot, I'll bet she was on for 15 minutes. And when she first hit it, I knew I had to work through it. I knew I had to just suck it up. But I like literally screamed on the table. And she's like, I know. Yeah. And I'm like, I know you know. And I know you know. I know you're feeling this shit come out of me. So anyway, the miracle was 2 things. One, she got me in. She was beautiful. I got the gift certificates from my other friend. Everything worked out. But 2, I get off of the table and I look at the clock and it's after 8 o'clock. I started this massage at 5:30. So I've been there for 2.5 hours. And so I walk out and I'm paying her and she's like, I gave you an extra half hour. I'm like, thank you. And I just, when I walked out, I was like, 2 lessons. Like, I need to give more grace around time. Like, what if another client was on that bed before me and she couldn't stop because she couldn't stop? I had to release all that. Yeah. Like everything she did that night had a purpose to it for me. Right. Yeah. So it just gave me a new perspective on time, on my structure, on her, and the way that she works with her clients, because she truly is a healer. Like she heals people. Yeah. And she, that's what she's in it for. And so it was just a really cool experience. And that was one of my miracles for the week. So, and I finally feel better. Yesterday, I was still so sore. Today,
I'm afraid.
Today I feel
like, or tomorrow.
You're going to be horrible tomorrow. But then the next day, good to
I'm
go. Yeah,
fucking
tomorrow's
scared.
gonna be brutal.
Yeah, I'm scared. Like,
Yeah.
I literally was in one point because I relate. Yeah, I was in one point where, like, I don't know if what body parts of mine were showing. Like,
Oh
dignity was
yeah. That's
gone. You
same
know what
with
I
me.
mean?
I'm
Like,
like, get
I
in there and
don't
get it,
know.
girl. Like I
Get
don't care
out.
what you have to do. I
Yeah.
can feel I need it. And I needed her. She was the only
Yeah.
one who
Like,
could do it. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So I love that. And I've been there. I've been a recipient of the very long massage from her at one point. And she said that before. You know, she's told me that before too. She's like, listen, like I just if I feel I need to keep going, I feel called to keep going and then there's a purpose. So I appreciate about that. I appreciate that from her too. And I think that is also a miracle for her to care so deeply about the client, to want to truly heal them, that it's not just about the physical,
No.
you know.
No, and it's not she's not paying attention to the time. I mean, she does, but
Mm.
if the client needs it, she's going to take the extra time. And so it just gave me
Yeah.
a huge appreciation. It gave me a lot of grace and it gave me a new perspective of, when I go back to her, if she's a little late, I'm going to give a lot of grace because I know she's helping somebody else who really needs it. So, all right. Well, that was
I love it.
awesome. Oh, we're almost an hour long one. So
Yes.
we
We
did
did
it.
it.
And I think when we first got on, we're like, I don't know, what are we going to talk about?
We're like, yeah, like
One of
I'm
our
dead.
we
Yeah.
both had massages this weekend. Lots of
Yeah.
releasing.
Yes. Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Well, until next time, keep your vibrations way high.
And stay sassy.